Welcome back to County Connection. I'm Robert Henning. I am the museum director at the Rockpile Museum. And with me is Heather Rodriguez, our museum educator. Good afternoon.
Yeah, exactly.
Good morning.
Whatever day is. Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning. What's going on in July? What do you got cooking?
Ooh, that's the big thing. So we are having our 50th anniversary and the tractor show in conjunction with the Frontier Auto Museum, their car show. So we've already had a lot of feedback from people out of the area that want to bring their vintage tractors. And we are still working on trying to get a tractor pull. We've had a huge amount of interest from the community and surrounding communities for that. So crossing our fingers, crossing maybe our T's and our I's to try and get that done so that we can have a lot of people interested.
Great. I love the tractor show. I think it's, we don't necessarily think of Campbell County as farm country, but certainly ranches and rural areas still had lots of tractors and equipment. And so this day is really designed to bring that history back to life.
Yes,
is that right?
to highlight that. And I think that you're right. I don't think we had a lot of farming equipment, but I think we have a lot of collectors who may have come from other places that love, and that's their heritage. So those vintage tractors, I'm learning a lot about them. Most of them prior to 1959, having to do with the pull, but lots of people having lots of different things, steam engines, old pieces of equipment, old lawn tractors. So I think there are a lot of people that have them in their garage and would love to have a time to just talk about that. And then we also did the 50th quilt. So that will be revealed that day, and I'm excited about that. The quilt is beautiful and has so much history about Gillette. We're gonna do a time capsule where you like birthday cake. We're gonna do birthday cake and ice cream. So there's something for everybody.
What aren't we going to do?
Probably sleep. We're not going to sleep.
Good. Sounds very busy. So tell us more about the quilt. How did that come about, and who put it together, and give me some details.
So Penny Schroeder being one of the other educators at the museum, she came to me and said, how about doing a 50th commemorative quilt? And I said, that's great. And then Diane Hackett, who was such a huge part of helping us get the word out, and in fact, today I called her the community engagement manager. She came to me, and we ended up going to quilt groups and talked about creating blocks, and we had a great response. So we have 30 blocks that all have to do with Campbell County history. Some of them are just really dialed in, really interesting tidbits of history in Campbell County done into a work of art that will create a booklet. And in 100 years from now, when the Rockpile Museum is in a brand new location, we will have people that can read a booklet about the people that created it for this anniversary. And that means a lot to me.
Yeah, great. So all Campbell County people that contributed, how many different people pitched in?
So I don't know the actual head count. I know we have 30 blocks. There were people that created 3 or 4 blocks.
Okay.
Diane, in fact, created a lot of different blocks, having to do with the railroad, having to do with post offices and 4-H and rodeos and steamboat and letter buck. All of those are represented in the quilt.
Great. So this big event, all of this fun stuff, give us the details, time, place, all of that.
So it's Saturday, July 20th from 9 to 4, and we will have a schedule of events that we'll post on Facebook and Instagram. People can stop by the museum too if that's the way they take their news, and have an event schedule for that.
Great.
Yep.
So there'll be specific times for the quilt unveiling and the cake and the tractor pull and all the activities.
Correct.
Great. So July 20th, 9 to 4.
It's a big party.
Big party. Great. What else in July?
So we have July 4th, which you will be announcing the parade.
I do announce the parade. It is a fun activity for me, a little bit stressful.
How many
because
years
I like to do a good job. But I think this might be year number 10. Not entirely sure. But it's when they changed the route of the parade. The parade never used to come by us. I think it ended maybe at 4J. Or it started at 4J and went the other direction. I don't remember the history on that.
I don't.
But we should know. History is our thing. But when they extended the parade past the museum, we said, well, this is fantastic. Let's be open. And then Parks and Rec wanted another announcer on that end of the parade, which is basically the very end. And Darla asked us if we wanted to do it, and
So
here we are.
how do people listen in? I don't think I knew. Is there a way to listen in?
Well, it's not broadcast. It's
Okay.
just for the people in attendance
Right.
on that part of the street.
Right.
And so I mean, clearly they can see what is in the parade, but I try to provide some background information.
Some commentary.
Yeah, a little bit. A lot of the floats will write down what they want to be read.
Sure.
You know, whether it's a marketing message or a 4th of July message or an upcoming event or a fundraiser. And I think that's really helpful for the audience to have a better understanding of, you know, why is this truck in this parade, or why is this big shack on wheels? What is the deal with
that's
this?
a great segue into talking about the
Yeah.
Homestead Shack.
So our mobile homestead shack will be in the parade this year. So it's actually kind of odd looking. It's right. It's a wooden shack on a trailer.
Right.
It's got windows and a door and a porch. So that's a perfect example. If you didn't know what that thing was, and the banner, you can do a banner on the side, but it's going to be hard to read going down the road. The announcer will give context,
Okay.
right? So that's the job of the announcer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do we have something else that may be in the parade?
Well, possibly advertising the tractor show. We have a threshing machine, and if we get approval and everything is safe and trustworthy, the threshing machine may also be in the parade.
Right. To help promote the tractor
The
show.
tractor show on July 20.
Exactly.
Yep.
So,
4th of July,
July 20th.
July 20 tractor show, 50th anniversary.
Yes.
We've got some new exhibits, right?
We do have some new exhibits. You want to talk about those?
Yeah, we've got the Iron Riders exhibit. That is
Right.
the 25th Infantry Bicycle Corps that came across from Fort Missoula to St. Louis in 1897. So Justin has created a little exhibit about that history. It's a story that's not really well known, so the exhibit tries to teach kind of the basics of that story, and hopefully,
When you say it, it sounds so not as tough as when I say it, which is 1,900 miles on a one-speed.
yes, in 1897, and you got to imagine the roads or lack thereof in
Exactly.
1897. Yeah.
And right through Campbell County.
Right through Campbell County. Yep.
And I think a lot of people don't have, I didn't, and I obviously was raised here, had no idea of that history. So I think it's fascinating just from the sheer grit and determination to make that kind of trip.
It really is. Yeah, I don't know how they did it. I'm amazed at it. It was a big experiment to see if bicycles would be valuable for the military as a tool,
Right.
for transportation, for infantry. European countries also had these experiments.
Which is a
I-
little
I-
different than,
Yeah, I believe some of them even deployed bicycle units at certain times.
and they did.
Really fascinating.
I know it is. It's a
Like,
great
it's
exhibit,
Weird.
and
We think it's
so
weird because we're like, why would they ride a bicycle? But
there were some
you know,
advantages.
yeah.
Stealthy, right? But maybe not
Speed,
from
yeah.
1,900 miles, 41 days. Is that right?
I don't remember the amount
I don't
of
know.
days.
I just, from a human determination factor, and people love bicycles, I think it's a great exhibit because I think
Yeah.
it's a little bit lost. We have lost that information. So I appreciate
For sure.
that we bring those exhibits
Yep.
to help remind people.
So that one's great. We've got the Wyoming Cowboy Hall of Fame.
Oh, yes.
Has brought in an exhibit of about their organization and some of this year's inductees. So we have some of our Campbell County
right.
inductees up there, and both current and past inductees from our region. And we're the Northeast region, so it's Campbell, Crook, and Weston, I believe, in that region.
But we have people here that were actually honored from other places too.
Yeah.
So like Bill Greer,
Yeah.
he's in the book. So,
Absolutely.
but was Lance Creek, so different area. And I think that's fascinating because I think a lot of people in this area have ranching backgrounds, have ranching ties, ancestors, and then obviously impacted lots of parts of Wyoming. So again, what a great part of our culture.
Yep, so come in and see the new exhibits during the events. During the 4th and the 20th, the admission is free, so that's a good time to come. Why don't you just really quickly tell us about other upcoming events?
So, like all of Gillette, Camporee will be coming to the museum, and so we will be having approximately, and of course none of us know, 2,500 visitors. And the logistics of that, up to 50 people every 15 minutes. And so the museum will be open to guests from all over the world. And we're trying to get ready in every way we know how to do that. And we're also having other people come in that will be interpreters or just people who will talk about different aspects of Wyoming. We have people from the state coming to talk about Wyoming wildlife. We'll have Matt Avery with saddle making. We will have paleontologists and archaeologists. I think that will be just a really phenomenal event. And then we have one of my favorite type of events coming. We're starting to do what's called cuisine storytelling. And Steve Friesen, who wrote the book Galloping Gourmet, which is Buffalo Bill's recipes, will be coming the end of August. Those tickets will go on sale July 15th. And what you'll get is to have an opportunity to have a 3 to 4 course meal that will be from the pages of the book while Steve speaks about his book. And I'm excited about things like that. And we're getting great feedback from the community. People like to learn while they're eating.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great time.
Good. When are tickets available for that?
July 15th
July
will
15th.
be, yep.
Okay.
And it's August 27th. It's a Tuesday night. So, and we'll be in the annex, and I think it'll be really fun.
Great.
Yeah.
Anything else upcoming you want to share?
Oh, well, September is very busy. We have a lot happening in September. We're trying to arrange or do the final part of a Pumpkin Buttes trip, so we're working on that. We also have a chuck wagon, so it's 2 Mules chuck wagon out of Cody. Very cool. They're going to do a class in the morning, which is sold out and has a wait list. And then I haven't really told everybody in the community, but they'll have a dinner that night. The cool part about that is they're being featured in June on Guy Fieri's Roadshow. So I think people, and they have it's very, very limited seating for this chuck wagon dinner that night. But how cool that they're actually on his roadshow, and she tells me that Guy Fieri's very interested in chuck wagons, so we have that coming. And we also just booked Mark Warren talking about the Johnson County Wars and Nate Champion. So we have some phenomenal programs.
Yeah, for sure.
September's busy.
So how can people stay up to date on all of this?
So that's a great question. You can always call the museum. You can also, if you'd like to, follow us on Facebook. That's probably the primary platform that we use. We are also on Instagram. They can always call, stop by, and email us.
Do we have a website?
We do.
Oh, okay.
It's rockpilemuseum.com. That one's easy.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you, Heather, for updating me and everybody out there on our upcoming events. And we'll see you next time.
Sounds good. Thanks.